Okay, so welcome to Learn English Drama Session. Now, for the last few weeks, we've been looking at our little ice cream parlour in our beautiful location by the beach. And if you remember last week, we actually looked at what's negotiable, if you remember. Can anybody sort of recap that for people who weren't here? Because I think, April, you weren't able to come, were you? And Alex
No, I
wasn't
wasn't
here.
there.
So, did you see the
The
recording
only
or
the
the
end.
article I shared, the vocabulary list I shared?
Oh, I didn't found that. I didn't find that link to
Oh,
the article. I was looking for that. Is it in groups?
it should
Because in
be. I
groups,
think that's where I shared it. I'm trying to be more
is it today that
consistent
you?
about. It's under Ice Cream Wars. Okay, and let me see. No, I didn't, did I? Okay, where did I share it, guys? Can anybody help me? Anyway, I can do that now if I'm in the right documents. Hang on, let me have a look at my documents. And we've got teaching, vocabulary, ice cream. Bear with me. So I think I've got a few things I need to share. So let me come out of this. We're not going to be working from that today, so I'll tell you what I'll do so that I'm not just waffling on willy-nilly. Then we'll just continue with today's session, okay? And in today's session, we're going to be looking at conflict and negotiation. Okay, now last week we discussed what things are negotiable. And if you remember from the list, everything's negotiable. Everything's open to negotiation. Agreed?
I I think that the last part of this session, you mentioned something that is really non-negotiable. I mean, you can try, and actually we can ask always, but in real life, some things you cannot negotiate. So, according to a business guy or that principle of business, yeah, you can always have a chance if you want maybe to negotiate things, but anyway.
Well, we have a
But
saying.
let's say in general,
We have a badly framed, grammatically speaking, saying in the UK. Don't ask, don't get. So basically, if you take the principle that, oh, I can't ask for that, then you're never going to get it because nobody's going to offer you things that are beneficial to you out of the kindness of their hearts. Okay, maybe some very nice people, but generally speaking, mm-mm. Now, we also discussed the potential points of conflict in the situation we're in now. And a lot of, Rima came up with some, and you came up with some, Monique, and a lot of it was kind of external conflict. Today, before we kind of go on to the external conflict part of this drama, where we'll introduce other players, if you like, let's go into the ice cream parlour. Okay, because we're going to discuss internal points of conflict today. Now, come in, join me inside. Oh, take your turn. Oh no, sorry, Monique, I still haven't scripted them.
it's
I just like to see you land upside down, honestly.
Okay.
I like turning the world upside down. Now, what potential points of conflict can you see hanging on the wall here?
We can see nicely curated poster.
They're lovely posters, yeah, very nice posters.
Yes,
But could there be conflict between? Monique's got it. Yeah, prices. Okay, so let's pretend we're all working, or this is our ice cream parlour. Yeah? Monique, April, and I have all come up with some ideas for how we'd like to see the ice cream parlour go. Now, Monique, you want it upmarket. April, you want it
Yeah.
family oriented. I want it kind of traditional with a little bit of upmarketness about it. I think Monique and I are the closest. April, you're way out there on flavours as well. And those are all potential points of conflict between us as co-owners. Okay. And quite often within any organisation or any structure of when people get together, most conflict comes from within. Not internal conflict as in your the angel on your right shoulder and the devil on your left shoulder telling you what to do. More the conflict we have within families and within organisations. Would you agree? You're allowed to disagree. Can we always all get on together? I mean, you know me, I'm a hippy drippy person. Is it possible for everybody to get on? Oh, I've just missed your yes. Monique, was that yes? It's possible for
I mean
everyone
the
to get in or
conflicts.
get on or
No,
yes,
no, no,
conflict.
no, no, no. It's no. I'm talking about the
Oh,
conflict. I mean, the first question. I mean, I agree with you.
it
With
is
your first
difficult.
statement. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is
And
difficult. Oh my God.
so what kind of conflict can you have with let's not go family, that's too personal. Let's talk about colleagues. What kind of conflict might you have with colleagues? People you work with are your colleagues.
The clumsiness. Just because, for example, during the coffee break, one drink coffee, drinks coffee, and then he or she left. She leaves without clearing their mugs.
Oh, I hate that.
And we say that every time, clear, put away your own mugs and wash it yourself. But it is always the same, day in, day out. There is always somebody who doesn't do that. That is
And that's
already
not
one
just
conflict.
at work, April. In the home too. And then you have to turn into a nag. Why can't you put your mug in the washing machine? Oh, Monique, you're typing away. You're making me feel tired. Take the mic.
Okay. Oh yeah, when they have different point of view. I think that's one of the problems, when people have different perspectives about something, and maybe some people think that they are right about something. So you need consensus when it comes to to run a business or when you are doing your job. Otherwise, if you are, I don't know, in the opposite way, it's hard just to make something work.
That's very true too. I mean,
Works.
one of the big things about recruiting people is to make sure they're going to be a good fit within the current structure or of whichever department they're going to join. I mean, that's really difficult. That's why people tend to ask about hobbies, not because they're interested in you. They're trying to find something that will make you fit in with, okay, you're into running. Oh yeah, everybody in that department, there's a run every year, the company marathon, whatever. Oh yeah, that's a good fit. That will give them something to talk about that they can agree upon, etc. Any other reasons that you might find? So different point of view, different lifestyle, April, yeah. One person's a slob. Nobody's going to
Some,
admit that in an interview, are they? Oh, I'm a bit of a slob. Don't like washing my own mug up. Alex, yeah? Try speaking again, Alex. I saw some green.
yes, I try to
speak. I can hear you.
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear you.
so great.
Okay, I'll just turn your volume up.
I
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with the what you say just before, and some people have not the same point of view, the same. They don't think they what they do, or they affect the others, and so it could be complicated uh, in some ways because people can't they have two different ways to think uh, and and some troubles could appear between colleagues
Yeah,
because of
and
that.
people are complex.
Yeah.
We don't come out of little molds all thinking the same. It's part of what makes us fun, but yeah, it can make us a bit of a problem. Now, Shiny, what do you mean when something doesn't fit your content?
I mean, if you uh, like before you talk to someone, you expect for something, or expect their reaction, and but it failed. The I mean, it doesn't fit your expectation.
Ah,
Like
okay.
you buy something and you want to have that quality, but you didn't get that quality, something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we might go for a job and we think it's going to be the most interesting job. It's what we've always wanted to do. We start the job and we realise it's boring. We're working with boring people. And everything that they promised us apart from the salary was a lie. Traum, take the mic.
What about some colleagues when they are together day after day, or they get too familiar, so to speak, about everything, and sometimes it goes over to gossiping. Um, yeah, it's a bit difficult. It could get difficult for colleagues, and colleagues like to create a group with the special ones and then the outsiders and so on. That could also lead to
Yes. I mean, you can have a really, what we call a close-knit team. Have you heard of this term, to be close-knit?
no close. The next word is
Close-knit. Like knitting, yeah?
yeah. Yes, I know it.
But if you
Yeah.
talk about people, if they're close knit, if you put your fingers together, both hands, stretch your fingers out and then slot them together, yeah, that's a close knit family or a close knit unit, close knit team. People who get on well together, great sense of ambience, everybody has a good time, and then somebody new joins. And suddenly that close knit team, there's no room for anyone else to fit in. That can be a problem. In what way can
Yeah.
age be a problem, April?
Just because maybe the youth has different kind of point of view. Not just in at work. For example, if you want to go out together, maybe the youth want to go to a place where that not really the place that the older generation want to want to go. For example, the cafe, for example. I don't know, but it can. I sometimes at the end of my career, for example, I try to follow the youth what they are talking about, and sometimes it's so difficult. But I'm a nice girl. I'm a nice lady, so I negotiated. I accept that. And background and religion. Religion is also something that it's difficult because sometimes you say something and it will hurt one group. It's not about the work, but about the communication, relationship between colleagues, just outside the workplace itself.
Well, that's one of the reasons why on the network we have a rule, no religion,
Exactly.
no politics.
That's important.
I mean,
Yeah, politics.
if you think keeping everybody happy in the workplace is difficult, try running a forum. Shiny, you've written and background. What did you mean? What kind of background do you think
Like
could be a
Monica
cause?
said,
Yep.
like Monica said, that we have different
Perspectives.
so perspective. So what raised you up make you right. So even the little thing like cut vegetables. Some people cut it small, some people cut it large, and it makes conflict, right?
Absolutely.
Even that's
And from which brings us right back to April's scenario, the person who doesn't wash or clean up after themselves in the canteen, in the coffee room. That can be how you were raised. If your mother was always running after you, cleaning up after you, you kind of take that into the workplace, and you're surprised when other people don't want to clean up after you. That's why I always say to parents around the world, there comes a time when you have to stop clearing up after your children. And politics and religion are a huge source of conflict in any workplace. But I think it can be very difficult for somebody new coming into a place which is already a close-knit or group, and then finding their place in it. They can feel excluded. Yeah. When you don't like the company that you work for, or when you don't like the company you work for, yes, and you feel constrained to stay because you've got a family to feed.
Yeah, but it's also a negative, asset, I would say, in the company because they they not allowed just to improve the company or just the course of the company because they're always criticizing what the bosses or what the directives are doing. So I would say that is really negative when it comes
Oh yeah, you get the moaning
to
mini. Do you know what a moaning mini is? Moaning mini?
no,
A moaning mini.
because of money, April, because you need a job, you need to feed people as Lynn says.
Yeah. I mean, or you just imagine the job would be different somehow.
They are so
But I can't
miserable at
imagine.
work.
I can't imagine that you work in a place that you don't like. I can't imagine that. At least you should love it a little bit. You can't love it always. It is always something that you don't like. But if you really hate that work, that place, why don't you go? That's the same
Fear.
as
It's more
fear.
frequent than you.
I agree. Has anybody here never done a job they hated? I know I did. I worked for several months in an accounts department, my first ever job, and I felt constrained to stay. For one, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to find another job, and I was working with the three wicked witches from Macbeth. I'm not joking now. They were horrible, absolutely horrible. And I was very young and naive. I stuck it out until somebody threw me a lifeline and offered me a job in another department, and they were lovely. Because I thought it was me at first. I thought, oh, it must be me. I must be thick. I must be stupid. I can't do this job. But it was actually all them piling on pressure, that giving me stuff they knew I wouldn't be able to do, just so they could have a go. I don't know what it was. Real power play. Workplace bullying. Horrible. But really, April,
Yes,
I didn't have the
I know.
self-confidence to leave. No way. Traum, yes?
Yes, I understand you, and I can follow you so very well, especially older colleagues. When there arrives a new colleague, I think there is something of envy for them. This younger, um, the boss likes the younger, the young the young colleagues more. I think I had also the same experience, but I stayed in this department for quite a long time, and I have to say, after a time, it went better. But when we arrived, we were so yeah, it was really strange, especially of the older ones, because it was their territorium. They knew everything, and I behaved wrong, on the wrong way. I was on the way too fast. I ran up the stairs. I was wild. Yes, I agree. But when a young person is that way, they have so viel energy in it, and the older ones should show more patience to those younger
I'm
ones.
glad you've used that word, patience. How did I get through, Shiny? I nearly didn't. I mean, this was a bad time for me. But it did help me decide how I wanted to behave with other people. And I swore I would never be like them. And I haven't been either. You just get over yourself, Shiny. Okay, an inferiority complex is often a sense that everybody's judging you. Most of the time they're not. They're not bothered. What's a moaning Minnie? Somebody who moans all the time. Don't be such a moaning Minnie. Somebody who complains all the time. You were saying about a
Okay.
colleague who's always going on about how rubbish the company is and how they hate their job. I mean, they might, but we've got a saying in English, okay? You don't have to like someone to work with them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You should, I mean, to be professional, you do not have to like someone to work with them, because you can't like everybody. When I was teaching out in the real world, I started teaching people. My goodness, couldn't stand them. They wouldn't have known it though. By that time, I was a bit more mature. I was able to hide my dislike of people, and I'd just laugh at whatever stupid thing they said next. No, honestly, I've worked with some very arrogant people. Go on then, teach me. And it
Then
was not a
respect
pleasant
is important.
experience, but they're paying me, so I'll put up with it. Monique, you were saying?
Then I mean, it happens a lot. I mean, this is life, of course. But I think when it comes to work, if there is respect, everything will be okay. Because
Yes,
when you
I
cannot
really.
live with that or just cope with this sort of people, you need just okay, do what you have to do, and I need only here respect. Okay, respect for me, for my work, and I'll do the same with yours. So, but because I think that it's absolutely normal.
Yeah, and I think the problem is as I say, when I was very young, it made going to work. I just didn't want to go into work. I started off so fantastically happy because I'd got a job. It was paying me money. I could give my mum money, and it was just like fantastic. And yeah, I'd got a bank account. Wow, boy, did I get into trouble with my bank account. I wasn't very good with money back then. But going to work became a chore. It became something I'd rather stay in bed and climb under the duvet than get out and go and face the three witches. You felt rich? Oh, I know, Traum. I've still got my first pay slip. We got them in brown envelopes with cash in them. It's nice getting cash, you know. It's lovely. I know. I thought I was rich. My bank manager reminded me later that I wasn't. I can be a generous fool. You got a blue one. Oh, mine was a little brown envelope. But that was
And
nice.
I bought, with my very first salary I bought a pair of boots, winter boots, and very expensive
Oh,
skirt.
Traum.
Yes, I was so proud, and my mom was with me. I think she was also relieved that I bought it for my purse.
Well, I have to say, the first thing I ever bought with my first ever wage packet wasn't for me. It was for my mum. I bought her a whole new outfit. She was so happy. I mean, it was in the sale. I wasn't earning a lot of money, but it was fun just to buy her something new, not second hand. It was fantastic. I was a lovely child, I have to say. Don't know what went wrong. Okay, so let's do a little bit of reading. I know, look at me now. Jaded, cynical. Okay, let's see. Who spoke to me first today? I think it was Traum, actually. So, Traum, I'm going to get you to read first. Bear with me whilst I just get the text up. And then it was April. And then it was Monique, Alex, and last but not least, I think it was Shiny. Let me just check. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so. Actually, no, it was Traum, then it was Monique, then it was April. Can't get that wrong. Okay. Monique will tell me up. Okay, so Traum, I'll post up the texture to read.
Okay. Is it? This is the text for
That's
me.
the text for you, yes. From Try.
Okay. Try to discover whether this person is unpleasant to you or generally like this. Suggests executive coach Miranda Kennett from London. Talking to other colleagues may make you feel better, Kennett says. You might also find that there are particular times this person is unpleasant or certain triggers. She told the Financial Times. If you are the only person having trouble, Kenneth says, your colleague is probably a bully. Bullies pick on people who cave in easily. So stand up to them. Don't be aggressive, but be firm.
Very good. Well done. Nicely corrected. Bully, not bully. Bully. And sorry, I'm so glad you got this one. Executive, not executive. Executive.
Yes.
Yeah. To execute.
Executive.
Yeah. So remember, don't execute the executive.
Do you say E or A, Lynn, the very first letter?
Eh.
E or E?
Eh.
Oh,
On both.
executive.
Executive. So
Executive.
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 That's it. Yeah. You have to practice that one. Don't execute the executive. Okay. Sometimes we're aggressive to protect ourselves. Yeah, if we lash out. And to be honest, this, don't be aggressive, be firm, stand up to them. Easier said than done if you're in some kind of power ratio. As you said, the experienced older colleague who gets on with everybody else but not you. And then you think, what's wrong with, why don't they like me? Well, power seems to do bad things to people. I don't know why, but yes. What does it say? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. But I think if you get aggressive, you're sinking to their level. Okay, so let's carry on. And Monique?
Stand up too. Is that also possible to say stand up against, Lynn?
No. To stand up to someone is literally to stand up. Okay, you've got to stand up to someone. Let me write this up. To stand up to someone. Yeah. To stand up for someone. And to stand against something. Okay. Now, if you stand against someone in politics, you are trying to be elected instead of them. If you stand up to someone, you feel you're being attacked and you're not going to back down. Okay? So you say, no, don't you talk to me like that. Don't you say that to me. You've got no right. To stand up for someone, yeah. April, don't you dare bully Shiny. Back off. Okay. But of course, you can also stand against something just by standing against it. I'm standing against the ice cream trolley here.
And against somebody is also
You can
possible.
stand against somebody, but that has a sort of political leaning towards it, as in I'm standing against the Conservatives in the next election. So everybody needs to vote for me. I haven't got a party. I think I'll do a Macron. I'm going to just say, no, vote for me. Don't vote for anybody else. Once you voted for me, we'll sort everything out. Maybe. I couldn't enter politics. I'd be a disaster. Not very good at compromise. Okay, so Monique, here's your text. Bear with me a second. Okay, there's your text.
Okay. Management Professor Robert Sutton says it can be helpful simply to talk to the difficult colleague about the situation. Some people have a remarkable lack of self-awareness, says Sutton, author of the No Asshole Rule. Building a civilized workplace and surviving one that's isn't. When you confront them, they often can't believe they've been like that.
Very good, well done. Yes,
Ah,
I love the title of that book, The No Asshole
yeah.
Rule. Yep, yeah, and it's a business book, Shiny. So, do you agree that you should talk to the person? Do you think it's a good idea to talk to them, to confront them, and say, no, what you just said was really out of order? Always? Okay. Anybody else? Alex?
Yes, speaking is always important
Mm-hmm.
in every situation.
Don't you think it's better to go home and just cry into your pillow?
No,
No,
no, Lynn. Could be destroy yourself if you do something
when
like
you're
that. No.
16. When you're 16.
Okay, that's the problem. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not just about power and status. It's about age and experience too, I think. Traum, take the mic.
I work with teachers. I work with teachers.
Oh, they're the
And
worst.
yes, indeed. And I wouldn't dare to get in a conflict with them. But I have to say,
Oh. Traum, I think the teachers have just unplugged you. Ah, you're back. Okay. What were you trying to say? You wouldn't dare get into a conflict with them, but... Oh, no, it's a 222. Maybe they've cut her internet. It is a problem.
I
There
know
she is. There you are.
he knows that he doesn't react as a teacher should, and yes, it's very strange. And I know mathematics are very person of their own. They are a bit strange sometimes because they have so few numbers and numbers in their heads. But anyway, they should show more humanity. I wish that.
Okay, Traum, you're definitely crashing. We got the end of that. Mathematicians
I
have
hope my
numbers in their
English
heads.
wasn't too bad and you could follow what I was talking about.
Yes. But you have now disappeared, so you're definitely crashing. That was very bizarre, wasn't it? Okay. Maybe that's just uncanny. The teachers definitely have got their hands on her internet connection. Okay. So, April, your text. If you'd like to read that out.
Okay. Of course, confrontation may not always be the solution. If it's your boss, you may have to find a strategy that works with them, says Carrie Cooper, professor of organizational psychology at Lancaster University. Figure out a way to understand what they psychologically need. In a funny sort of way, it can become a game.
Okay.
If
Yep. April, any questions?
if it is your boss, I don't think you can do a lot because it's your boss. You have to accept and or negotiate. But what does the need, or what does the what do you say, the it doesn't useful to, what was that again, is that to understand what the psychological need. Yeah, that is, I agree with that. But mostly if you have problem with your boss, that is that's no good.
It's
not good
awful.
news.
Awful. It's terrible. Monique, take the mic.
No, by reading this part, I think that, or I always thought that you need a sort of psychology in all this stuff. I mean, about relationships with people, because, and especially when you are at work, or even when you are leading, or yeah, leading people, because it's not only about, okay, this is your job, those are your functions, but at the same time, yeah, you need to find a way how to deal with people, because we are different from each other. So if I know that this person is a little bit sensitive, so it's like you should try just to approach, or that person in a different way. So, oh my gosh, it I don't know, it means that you need just to think before or beyond that. It's like, I don't know, it's weird, but it needs psychology and a strategy, as
Yeah.
this part
Well, I
says.
think you're right. I think psychology plays a huge role, and it's horrible to manipulate people, but good bosses are great
To-
manipulators.
but you have to sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah,
or even
and
when you
having a
see,
strategy. Alex just said, yeah, for each person.
Yes.
When you've got each, yeah, then it's singular. Each cake, each person. Okay.
Okay.
All
Each
the
person,
people,
okay.
all the people, but each person. And yeah, developing well, you need to know Sometimes the key is knowing what you want. Do you want to be a good boss or do you want to be a friend? And it can be difficult for bosses too. How do you think it could be difficult for bosses?
I think you should be clear at the beginning of the conversation and say the, both boss and friend. He must precise. Now I told you as a boss or as a friend. Be clear with the other person. And I think this should lead to a constructive confrontation.
Yeah, I'm terrible with confrontation. That's why I don't want to be a boss.
But confrontation is not always negative. I think it could be constructive and speaking when two people are speaking together, the problem. I think it could be only a good solution, even if the aim is not reached.
Well, there is a lot of stuff out there that says, bosses should actually consider studying psychology. It can make them a better boss, which is funny in a way.
I think it could get dangerous for bosses when colleagues tell each other what salary they get.
Salary.
You know?
Salary. Yeah.
Salary they get.
In some companies, it's actually part of your contract not to discuss salary. But in the UK, it's kind of an unwritten rule. You just don't. We don't talk about money. And I think that suits companies very, very much sometimes. Especially when it comes to paying women less than men.
I think it's always difficult when you have to do with several people, because each of them has got another personality. Some can work in a group. Some see a huge career in front of them, and so on. Their purposes are so different. I am more. I like it when every person is friendly and likes each other. I am sorry, but I am a bit stupid in this case. But yes, I don't like
Not
when
stupid.
someone is, no, it's too familiar. It's not. When you are in an office, you can't behave or can do or can await that they treat you as the people do it at home. They are different. There is, yeah. But I think someone is very poor if they haven't got a nice family at home, and they also have to fight, and that's not so nice, I would say.
I would say if you've got no support at home, it's not nice for anybody. Unless you just spend all your time at work, which some people do because they don't want to go home, which is really sad. Oh, bless. Of course, I work from home, so I've got a lovely atmosphere at work and at home. Most of the time. But I'm not sure if it can be a game trying to figure out what other people want, because sometimes the other person doesn't know what they want. They don't even know why they're reacting the way they are. Just there's something about you that they just don't like. You get on their nerves. Okay, Alex, would you like to just read this next bit?
Yeah. If you're the boss, the easiest solution to dealing with a difficult employee is to dismiss him, or this may not be the ideal. However, especially if the employee has a good reputation or has skills the company needs. In this case, you should at least make them aware of the effect their behavior is having on other people, says Robert Sutton. Do and learn.
Yeah, some people can do and learn. Your voice is
Can.
breaking up. Well, it's not breaking up, it's sort of fading away and coming back a little bit. But yeah,
Uh,
some people can and do learn. So the stress is slightly different there. They can do it and they do it. Shiny, you don't want to talk like me anymore. You want to talk like Alex. Very good choice. Okay. Any questions? Any
People can do and should learn, but do they want?
That's
Do
a
they
big,
really want?
yeah, that's a big question. And one of the worst employees to have is the one that's absolutely, or they think that they are, they think that they're basically needed, that they're indispensable. That's the word I was looking for. Indispensable. But nobody, as we know, I don't know if you agree with this, but nobody is really indispensable. Yeah, exactly, Monique. 7 billion people on the planet now. Nobody's indispensable.
Some people are hard to replace. Let's say that because and I was we had a anyway, but indispensable never.
Gosh, you're harsh. Okay.
In France, I don't know in other countries, but in France, we talk more and more about psychosocial risks. That's why usually bosses are trained about how to manage people and how to be caring and not to have a bad I don't know, how to care in of employees.
I think actually you've raised an interesting point, Alex, because it mentioned in that part of the text dismissing people. But I think French bosses have to learn how to get on with people because you can't dismiss anybody in France. Well, that's my experience of work in France. That you just can't dismiss anybody. Not once they're past their trial period, anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess French bosses must have it. Well, they must have a very difficult life. Okay, so
I-
okay, so let's pretend we've got Monique, April and I, all with our own ideas of how we want to run the ice cream shop, the ice cream parlour. And we've been, I've made my poster, April's made her poster, Monique has made her poster, and we've discussed it and discussed it and discussed it, and none of us are willing to change our concept. We've all got good reasons why we want to do what we want to do. What would be we're at loggerheads, okay? To be at loggerheads. Have you heard that term before? If you're at loggerheads with somebody.
Nope.
Okay, it's a strange little word. It's very much an idiomatic term, really, and it just it just means if you're at loggerheads with someone, you cannot reach an agreement. You're in dispute. Okay.
I asked my dictionary, and I know what you mean, or what it's meant with it.
Good. Well done. So when you're at loggerheads, it's very difficult. You can't reach an agreement. What can you do um, in order to move forward? We've got equal shares in the place. We've all put the
Talk.
same amount of money in. Nobody's in a position of power. So Traum, yeah.
Talk with this
We've been
person.
talking and talking and talking for weeks. We started this 3 weeks ago. We even
are saying that
created the posters in the thoughts that, my poster's bound to change their minds. But no, everybody's got their own ideas. What? Go to the audits, April? What do you mean by go to the audits?
I don't know the word in English
Aha.
for audit. Let me see. Audit is a group or a person who comes to learn about what is happened in your company and to find the solution and to give a proposal, not a proposal, to give an opinion about what you have to do. So
Okay,
outside
yeah, we do
English
have
people,
auditors and we do have audits, but that's purely on the financial side, okay? So an auditor, it's all about finance to make sure the books balance, yeah? The financial books, of course, not the books as in normal kinds of books, are true and representative. Okay, so that's an audit. I think what you're looking for maybe is mediator.
yeah, mediator. And mediator, you a mediator has to mediate, but
Yes.
an auditor is just they come and they find or they write down as a report. This is what happened, and they give some not opinion, then something that you have to do, but they don't do that job itself. They just
You mean we should call in
give
a
the
consultant?
some
way,
kind
really?
of consultant, but in my dictionary it calls audit too in English.
I hate your
I
dictionary.
April, I'm still curious about it. Even though you have said that it's on internet, but but
You
I
have
think
an
when
external and an internal audit.
Yeah, but it's still
but yeah, but
finance in
it's
my head. In my head, it's all about finance.
yeah, or maybe just a huge company, you know. But I think that here is a little bit easier to to solve this problem because we have 3 people. When you have only 2, it's worse. I mean, it's just
Oh,
like
okay.
hell.
So what's your
Uh-huh.
solution, Monique? You're going to try and
Yeah,
gang
because
up against one.
I w- okay, let's say that these signs, you know, if you see the 3 signs, I would say that yours and April have the same style. Okay, so mine is completely different. So I would say that is, you know, like maybe it doesn't fit good there, you know, on that wall. But if we are talking just maybe we all have our point of views, I would say okay. So the thing is, we should try to reach, you know, that points when where we can be or those points what we that we agree. But if 2 people are just agree with, you know, I like this style, blah blah. Okay, so the other person has um, to yield, you know, about that, you know. So it's more about being democratic somehow, and just try. Okay, if you think that it is the best way, okay, we will try your idea first, and we will assess, or we will just yeah, test that part, and we will see what happens. So it's more about just looking the majority. I mean, if 2 are agree, okay, the other one, sorry, you know, this is democracy. So let's try first this part or this option or strategy. But I think when there are more people, you can use that method. But when it comes to 2 people, it's hard just to decide.
Okay, okay, interesting. April, you said do it on turn. I think it's do it in turn or take turns or to take turn, but take turn in what, April? I'm not sure what you mean.
For example, we have three publicities here. So this week we put it Monix, and we sells the most ice cream is from that, and then next week mine's we sell that as the main
I'm not going
product
to
at the
wait.
moment.
I'm not going to wait 3 weeks before I get my ice cream on sale.
Okay, you
And
first
Monix will
then.
bankrupt us. I mean, look at it. We wouldn't be able to go beyond the first week if nobody
Okay,
bought one.
not a week then. Every day another day. Every other day then. Or
We
every
can't
hour.
afford the ingredients. I mean, it's just crazy.
You see, I'm always weak in that kind of negotiation.
You start
I always
laughing.
okay. I have to stand up for myself actually.
You're trying to make the place better. You're trying to make it more
Yeah.
upmarket. Yeah.
Or
We've all got our
there
point
is
of view.
talent. So
We're very
I think that my
entrenched.
proposal is valid. No?
Yeah, I
That
think
would be
I
really
think especially. I mean, I kind of like what you said about 3 is easier than 2, but I honestly don't know because when you've got 3, somebody's always going to use the other person against the other person. Whoever seems to be winning, if they think they're not winning, then they'll change sides, and I think it can be even worse with 3.
Persuasion.
I
Persuasion,
think we need a
know?
mediator. It's definitely not an auditor. A business mediator. And as you quite rightly said, Alex, a business mediator is somebody who's impartial. Impartial? Everybody knows what that means?
Well,
And it is generally external to be impartial.
Yeah, they're going to look at it. Actually, they're not really impartial. What they'll do is they'll look at it from the point of view of the business. They'll not look at the people, they'll look at the business. So there's no bias towards a particular person or a particular idea. They'll treat the people equally and they'll look at what's best. A good business mediator will look at what's best for the business. Okay? Yeah, they're objective, exactly. Objective and unbiased. So unbiased, lots of vocabulary. Neutral, non-partisan. Yeah. Even-handed. A good mediator. Of course, then you've got to find your good mediator. We've got to agree on who's going to mediate then. So who do we choose? Traum, Shiny or Alex? Then we need a mediator to choose a mediator. Oh dear. It can be very difficult trying to get some kind of resolution. But in the meantime, our business is suffering. I think that's the main problem we've got. Yeah, the business is suffering. Okay, so what I thought we could do, let me see, how many people have we got? Let's just do a little read through of a small conflict, nothing as big as what we've got with our ice cream problem. I don't know how we can resolve such different approaches, I really don't. Oh dear.
Dean, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When, for example, I have to present a proposal or, let's say a proposal or a project. So the way this word, I can say that the substantation or the justification or the validation, which of them can I use? Because it's important when you have a good idea, but the way you explain it, the way you sell that idea, or the substance.
Well, I
I don't
wouldn't
know
say a
what is the best.
validation. So what are you actually trying to sell an idea
Yeah, I'm
on?
trying to find if it's validation, substantiation, or justification. I'm not sure about that word.
Well, justification makes it sound as if you're being defensive. You're trying to justify what you're doing. Okay.
I mean, this is our case here. I mean, among April, you and me. Can I justify why I want this, this idea, or just for the business? Is that okay?
Well, I think given your ingredients, you would have to justify it.
Okay,
You
yeah,
are. You would have to be on the defensive as to why we should buy gold leaf and baccarat crystal goblets.
exactly. Uh-huh. So I have to
So I would
justify
say,
that.
what's your justification there? It would depend on again, the vocabulary you use is very dependent on how defensive you're being,
Uh-huh.
if you like, yeah? But in that
Yeah.
case, justification. You can also talk about your rationale, okay, but that would be more of a logical justification. So April could be rational about hers, I think, it's cheap, affordable, quick to serve, fits with the fits in nicely with the area that we are. She's done her market research, maybe. She That's her rationale. And then I'm not sure what I would do. I'd probably try and find some kind of compromise, because mine's kind of between the two, I guess. There's a little bit of gold in there, but I'm not serving it with gold-plated spoons and diamond-encrusted goblets. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I've lost my text now. Hang on. Here it is. That always happens.
I'm glad I don't have chocolate taste in my ice cream, because there is a problem with chocolate, cocoa because of the war in Ivory Coast. So you will have a problem, Lynn, to get cocoa.
Oh my god, that sounds like, now that's substantiating, Monique, okay?
That's a small
She's
details
got the
always
evidence. No,
count.
she's got the evidence. She's providing evidence.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So then you need just to go deeper, April, but because I would need numbers, figures.
I don't think you're a numbers person looking at that menu. I think you've got an idea of what kind of business you want to run, and you want to be able to bring your friends in and go, look at this place, isn't it amazing? Okay, so we're going to do a beginning of a confrontation, if you like. I need 2 volunteers, please.
Yes, if you
I would
want
say
to.
shiny, because shiny hasn't
Yeah.
read, I think.
Okay, so Shiny, you've been volunteered. I'm not sure if that's how
Exactly.
volunteering's meant to
I like the way
work.
you say it. You will volunteer today.
No, I said you have been volunteered.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just get another volunteer, please. I think April should, don't you?
Come on, April. Yeah.
Okay, shiny, we do that together.
Okay, let me find my ice cream parlour place. Have I got it in here? Nope, I haven't.
Let's fight.
New folder. Ice cream. Okay. And a new note card. Okay, so there's 2 people, Maria and Nina. Okay. Let me just make sure it's correct. Okay, Tram. It's sorry. I still haven't scripted the seats. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh, I've just put confickle instead of conflict. Hang on, let me just rename it. Ah. Okay, so April and Shiny, I'm going to give you the note cards. Let me know if you've received them.
Okay.
Okay, so you can decide whether you want to be Maria or Nina. Okay, but whoever's Nina, you need to walk into the shop. Otherwise it won't work. So April, I think that sets you up as Nina actually, because Shiny does have problems moving around in World. So do you want to give it a go? If you go outside and walk in, and then Shiny, you're right on her. Okay. And begin.
Can we also get the text?
Yeah, afterwards. Okay, Shiny, you're Maria?
Should I start now?
Yes, please. Yeah.
I can't believe you're late again, Nina. You just don't care, do you? You know that I need the monthly reports by the 15th of every month.
Hold on a second, Maria. I don't think that's fair. Give me a moment to explain.
What's the point? You are lazy and you never think about anyone else.
Okay, we need to stop this for a moment. Otherwise, this conversation will get us nowhere. Let's look at the facts. For the second month in a row, I haven't been able to send you the reports on time, right?
Right.
And this causes you stress since you need them for your meetings.
Yes, when you are late, I get stressed. Delays from your side put me under pressure, and make me look bad. And when I'm late presenting the reports, it slows down the whole process.
Okay, I can understand how you must feel, and I'm sorry that's the situation. But the facts remain. Let me explain.
Go on.
Okay, very good. Well done. Okay, Monique, you went OMG. Why?
Oh my God! Don't talk to me like that, Shiny.
Aha!
But I like April's, because it was she was defensive at the beginning, but she tried to to solve or just to explain the situation,
she
just
she did
to
what we
justify.
say. Yeah, she did what we say. She took a step back. Okay, we've got this saying to take a step back, and it means stop, think. We also say count to 10. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Count to 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes we need to just, okay, this is getting out of hand. This is getting, I'm going to hit her in a minute. Okay, idiomatically means, it just means you move away, figuratively speaking. Okay, you just pause and you consider what to do next, and you can hear it when April does. It doesn't work for you. Oh, it works for me, Traum. Oh, My mum, when she said to me, just count to 10 before you react, best advice, well, one of the best pieces of, hope for the best, prepare for the worst was one of the best pieces of advice she ever gave me, considering my life. But counting to 10 really helps. Don't just react, don't just lash out. And you did very well, April. Just 2 words for you, Shiny. Pressure, not pressure, like to press, but pressure. Try it.
Pressure.
Yeah, and process, to process something, or a process. Not pro.
Process.
Much better. I know you don't like the O sound, but you're going to have to make friends with it one day. Okay, has anybody else got any thoughts on the text? As I say, that was only an extract. We'll go on further next week, okay? So, 2 more volunteers. We'll just do it once more with 2 more volunteers. Traum, yep.
Yeah.
Alex and Traum, you have been volunteered. Okay, so
Yeah, I
again,
like that idea.
you've been... Okay, you get the note card. Alex, do you know how to open note cards?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you find it in your inventory. It's called Conflict 1. So you can search your inventory for Conflict 1.
Is this the same text, Lynn?
It is exactly the same text, yes. And one of you has to be Maria and one has to be Nina. Okay? And Monique, I will share the text with you. We won't have time to do it a third time. But I'll share the text with you. We'll do it next week as well, but we'll take it further next week, okay? So who's going to be Nina? They need to go outside and walk in so that Maria can have a go at them. Maria's mean.
Shall I go out?
Yes, okay, Traum. If you go out then... Oh, no, Alex is running out.
Oh, as you want.
Whichever. No, go on, Alex. Out you go.
Okay. Oops.
Yep, other way. Hey!
Oh,
Okay, you're running, Alex. So I think it would be easier for you if you just change your movement to walk. So if you go to walk, run, fly, and then just click on the first symbol, which is walking mode. Okay, because it's very, very difficult to
Can I
run.
come
Okay.
can I come in now?
Yep, come in, and as soon as she walks in, Traum, you start.
Okay. I can't believe you're late again, Nina. You just don't care, do you? You know that, sorry, I can't read it properly, mind. You know that I need the monthly reports by the 5th of every month.
Hold on a second, Maria. I don't think that's fair. Give me a moment to explain.
What's the point? You're lazy and you never think about anyone else.
Okay, we need to stop this for a moment. Otherwise, this conversation will get us nowhere. Let's look at the facts. For the second month in a row, I haven't been able to send you the reports on time, right?
Right.
And this causes you stress, since you need them for your meetings.
Yes, when you're late, I get stressed. Delays from your side put me under pressure and make me look bad. And when I am late presenting the reports, it slows down the whole process.
Okay, I can understand how you must feel. The situation, but the facts remain. So let me explain.
Go on.
Oh, very good. I love that bit at the end, Traum. Go on. Go on, I'm listening. But I don't like what you're going to say. Very good. Well done.
Thank you.
I missed some words from Alex
Her voice is
so,
fading in and out a little bit.
Yeah,
Alex, if
sorry,
you,
sometimes
don't worry, we're
uh,
used to that kind of thing. So you just have to kind of try and follow through. Why the scripting can help sometimes because you can think, okay, that must be what she just said. Okay, Traum, just two things. First of all, the 15th. Yeah, 15th. Yeah, the 15th of every month. Okay, so it's a monthly report. Yeah,
the month.
that's it.
15th.
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 That's it. So 5th, 15th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, of
5th.
course.
The 5th and the 15th.
That's it. Good. Good. And then that little bit at the beginning, I know it looks like a normal question, but it's more of a statement. Yes, it's got a question mark at the end, but it's not really a real question. It's more of an attack. So it's more along this line. The way you'd emphasize it, the way you'd use your intonation here is, you just don't care, do you? It's more of it's really nasty. So it's not you just don't care, do you? It's you just don't care, do you? So try it.
Okay. It's more or less a statement.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You just don't care, do you?
No. Okay, close your eyes. Don't look at the sentence. Listen to my voice. You just don't care, do you? Try that.
You just don't care, do you? Do you?
Not easy, is it? Okay, the do is really emphasized. Yeah, do you? So you
Do
just
you?
yeah, you just don't care, do you?
I don't want that it sounds as if
It is mean.
as a question.
No, it's not a question. It's do you, not do
know.
you.
I understand.
you?
I understand it fully. You just don't care, do you?
Oh, you're too nice, Traum. You're too nice. You haven't got a mean bone in your body, have you? Okay. So you'll need to practice that for next week, Traum. Okay.
Okay.
Try it more forcefully. Okay. If you can imagine, the person saying, "You just don't give a damn, do you?" Okay. Don't say to your father. I don't want you coming back next week and saying, "Lynn, I'm getting divorced." Okay, should we just go round? Okay. April, you try it.
You just don't give a damn, do you?
That's it. Shiny.
You just don't care, do you?
Very good. Yeah. I want more oomph. Alex, you have a go.
you just don't care, do you?
Ooh, again, you're letting that question mark catch you out. Do you? It's do you.
Do you?
Yeah, the stress is on do. There's no question there. It's just, you just don't give a damn, do you? Yeah? It's horrible. It's not a nice thing to say to somebody. Try it once more, Alex.
You just don't care, do you?
You still got that little question in the you, but it's really difficult. It's like overriding everything you've been taught about intonation for questions, okay? And that's one of the reasons drama's so good. Monique, go on. I know you're going to give it everything, aren't you?
You just don't give a damn, do you?
That's it. Do you?
Do you?
Yeah. Okay, so practice for next week, okay? I'm going to make you all say things like this. And it's still a question. You know, it's a valid question. But it's not because it's an attack. Yeah? And the emphasis is on the do. Do you? Yeah. Okay, so I think that's enough for this week. Any questions before I stop streaming? Everybody
have
happy?
you found
Oh, what? Hey.
the text from last week, Lynn? I'm right, you don't put it in
I
the
didn't put it in. I did put it somewhere in the
icebreaker.
forum, but not under Virtual Worlds. So I will find it, and I've got and I have got another thing for you to read as well, which is how psychology can make you a better boss. It's quite a nice little article from Forbes. Okay, so
Nice.
if you read that for next week as well, but it's only if you want to. It's not necessary to do the session, but so I'll put that up. The link to the list of what we discussed last week, what's negotiable. And the trick is, by the way, if you weren't here last week, everything is negotiable. And then
Okay.
next
We
week
will
we'll
start
carry on.
again.
Next
We
week,
will
if
start
everybody's
again.
okay with it, we'll carry on with this. Okay? Did you enjoy it? Was it okay? Not too
Yeah.
much? Yep, good. Okay, I'll see you next time then. Thanks for coming. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye, guys.